Hello everyone. Decided I would do a Benchmade knife review. In front of us here I've got three Benchmade knives. I collected a lot of knives when I was younger. I was really into them. I was into knife smithing. I made some of my own. And then near the end of my interest in collecting, I came across Benchmade. And actually, Benchmade is when I stopped buying random knives at flea markets because I really don't think there's anything better. They are expensive, but they're made in America, which I think is very important. And they have good fit and finish. They have a nice selection. And I don't know if they still offer it, but they had the Life Sharp program where you could send your knife in, they would sharpen it for you free of charge. And I just think they're a really good knife, and they all or almost all of them anyway, have pocket clips, which I think is extremely important. I watched a knife review and discussion by Wrangler Star not too long ago, and he said, I'm done with Benchmade. I don't like them because they're too expensive, and when I always lose them because stuff catches on the belt clip and I lose them, and they're too expensive of a knife to lose. And well, you know what? I say just the opposite. I've lost several drop-in-your-pocket knives, like an old, Case Old Timer, or, regular old jackknife style knives. I've lost a couple of those because they slip out of my pocket. And I got this big thing sloshing around in there. I don't like it. With these, the clip knife, they slip right in your pocket. Or, not all the way in, but they slip right in where they should be, and they stay there. They don't move anywhere. And they're right there for when you need them. You just slip your hand in, pull it out, and it's at the ready. Another awesome thing about Benchmade is, and you'll notice all three of these knives have this feature, is the axis lock. Benchmade does also offer probably some lockbacks, liner locks, and some other locking methods, but I think the axis lock is one of the best knife locks ever designed. It's very simple. Inside there's a omega shaped spring. It looks like the ohm symbol. That spring loads this sliding pin. And you see there's a flat on the tang of the knife there, and it's rounded over here. So when I open the blade, there's the flat coming around, and that pin slides forward. Now the blade's locked. Very simple. You're never ever going to touch that lock enough during the use of your knife to ever disengage it backwards such that it closes. And it's easy one-hand opening with the thumb stud. Just flick it with your thumb, and you can just pull the lock back and flick your wrist to close it. Or you can also pull the lock back and flick your wrist to open it. But I find that requires a little bit too much dexterity. Because a lot of times I'm holding a piece of rope or something, I need to cut it. I need to hold it with one hand and cut it with the other, so I don't want to mess around with an old style knife. I have to dig out of my pocket and then get my thumbnail in the thumb slot in the blade, and I always feel like I'm going to rip my fingernail off. So, another thing. Benchmade has both styles, but I definitely prefer they call this the tip-up clip style. You see the knife is tip-up if this were clipped in your pocket, which I think is much better because as your hand comes down, you can pull the knife right out of your pocket, and it's right there ready to open. Tip-up style, like that, you have to kind of put your hand in, pull it out, and then flip the knife around to open it. Anyway, in front of us this is a Benchmade Griptilian, and what model is it? It's the model 551. This is my first knife, my first Benchmade knife. Oh, and the clips are also ambidextrous. There's holes there and also there. This is my second knife. It's a, what was this called? This is called the Switchback. It's the 921 Switchback. Very Very sleek knife. Very thin. And this is why they call it the switchback. There's a second knife back there. And this is has been my EDC knife for, I think I got this when I was about 16 years old. I'm 24 now, so I've had it for a while. I've had it so long that I've sharpened it back so far. You see that tip on the edge there? I've sharpened it back that far. This is the 732 Aries. It's got a composite fiber reinforced grip, which looks very nice in my opinion. Used to have a black blade until the black kind of wore off. And I like this. This is my favorite knife. I've had this for, like I said, quite some time. The only thing I don't like about this, even straight out of the box, brand new, the pivot was not very smooth. Actually, this is extremely sticky right now. I haven't oiled it in a while. This knife is the budget, like, starter knife for Benchmade. It has a 440C blade and just a boring hollow plastic sounding handle. That's the thing I dislike about this knife the most. I mean, it just doesn't sound very good. It just sounds plasticky. But I think it's about 80 bucks. So it's not a bad knife. It's called the Griptilian. This one, looks-wise, is my favorite. Very sleek, nice anodized aluminum handles. You see, I haven't used this very much. The back blade is a 440C, which is, decent for edge holding. But this blade is S30V, which is some space age, super hard, super long edge lasting, long lasting edge knife steel. But it's a pain in the ass to sharpen. It's just impossible. Which is one of the reasons why I didn't really like this knife. But it fits the hand very nicely. It looks really good. And for some reason, it just opens like lightning. It's the fastest knife, even though these all have the same locking mechanism. And this one has a 154 cm blade, which is a kind of a middle of the road between these two. I think they use 154 cm for jet engine turbine blades, which doesn't really say much to me because this isn't a jet engine turbine blade. This is a knife. Turbine blades don't need to hold an edge. Anyway, see, it's definitely well worn. Worn the black off. I like the black blade because sometimes I take this out in public to cut something, and I just don't want to risk some idiot screaming and whining about me having a weapon or something. So I like it. It's nice and subtle, which is what I also didn't like about this one. Beautiful knife. I would carry it everywhere, but that's flashy. And so is this one. But this one, I believe, comes in a black blade if you so desire. And you notice all of these knives don't have serrations. I don't like serrations on my knives, partly because this part of the edge where the serration is where I do most of my cutting. And also I have my Leatherman if I need to cut something with serrations. So, all in all, these are three very nice knives. I would recommend any or all of them, or just the company in general. My favorite out of these three, it's kind of hard to say. I mean, I've carried this one the most, but I like the speed of this one and the sleekness. This one's nice and sturdy, but it's a little bulky in your pocket. You see, I can't hold two. Let me do two at a time. See, there's the thickest and the thinnest. And here's the one that I carry. This is the 732 Aries. It's a little thinner. This is just plain old bulky. But all very good knives. If you're looking for a nice knife, I would definitely recommend Benchmade. These all were, like I said, this was about 80. This was 120. I think this was about 122. So they're expensive, but I think they're worth it. And I love the pocket clip. The pocket clip makes sure that knife is always in the exact same spot. every time you reach for it. So that's about it. If you guys have any questions or comments, be sure to leave me your thoughts down below. Leave me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. And subscribe if you haven't already. I'm sure there's something on my channel that you'll enjoy. So thanks for watching, guys. And as always, come back for more.